I already made this video in Spanish, like last week or maybe the week before, which I feel terrible because I should have done it. By the way, South Park already came out with an episode and whatnot. But yeah, I just took the reason why I'm telling you this is because I couldn't help myself with the thumbnail. Anyone watching that shit without any context is probably like, what the fuck is about to happen? Don't worry about it. I'm not here to blast on the Jews, my friends. I'm not. I'm here to explain to you all why everything is Israel's fault and the Jews, and they're the worst thing since I don't know what's a bad thing that's happened, but you know, like Tara Reid, since Tara Reid. How about that? Let's just leave it at that. So first of all, welcome to the channel. You guys know I'm fucking crazy. I completely lost my mind. I really truly believe we're living a game, and this game is fun as fuck. And there's a lot of things, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because there's a lot of things that you need to understand in order to understand the world better. And I'm here to tell you them. Now, I'm not here to convince you of anything. Just watch this as entertainment if it doesn't make sense. And if it's causing you any bad vibes, some hate, or anything negative whatsoever, you can leave your negative comment. Of course, we want to hear all of your negativity and how negative you are. And then you can go. I'm not here to invoke any fear, any hate, any anger in you. That's the least of my intentions right now. So let's talk about this, because in here, there's a very valuable lesson for all of you that will absolutely help you in many ways, financially and in your life. And I swear to God, it's hiding behind this stupid thing. So we all know about the incident with Charlie Kirk, and everybody's like blaming Israel and all these things. And I'm going to talk about that. But I want you to understand how this works. I want you to understand that whenever there's a majority with an opinion around the world, it's mostly because they want you to have that opinion. Okay? And I'm going to explain to you why. Every time something happens and it's brand new and it's the only time it's going to happen, we don't get told about it. I don't think I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with this, motherfuckers. All right, here you go. Listen to this. When I was a kid, and I'm being completely honest with you guys because I don't fucking care. I'm uncancelable. You can't cancel someone that doesn't depend on anything they say online. Nothing. You can shut down this shit. I'm still existing. When I was a kid, I grew up in a Lebanese household and a Lebanese environment, right? That's where I come from. And when I was a kid, all of the adults around me hated the fucking Jews. That's what they said. I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying that's what they said. They were like, these are the worst people in the world. You should never trust them. They're two-faced. They're terrible. And I understand why. And especially now growing up, right? When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, fuck those guys. Instantly. Because the adults that I loved and protected me fucking told me that. So I'd go to school and I'd make a statement, right? And all of my friends, because also there was other Lebanese people in there, were like, yeah, these Jews are terrible. They're awful. They're the worst thing that's ever happened to the world. And that was our view. And I remember having a friend that was like, no, they're not. And he was obsessed with Jewish girls. He wanted to date Jewish girls and whatnot. Again, we were kids. And he started going out with a Jewish girl just to prove his point and whatever. And she turned out to be awful, just as a personal note for him. And it's so funny because now, obviously, I don't have anything against anyone, and especially not the Jews. Get the fuck out of here. But it's so funny because now I'm here, and that friend is posting on social media how bad the Jews are and has been doing it for years. This life is so fun. It's so much fucking fun. So either way, I grew up in that environment. The reason why the people around me hated the Jews so much is because they lived in Lebanon. They literally are the people that came from Lebanon because they were being bombed to fucking hell by them. So I understand. You have the right to hate whoever is destroying your fucking place of living. I get it. But eventually you grow up and you meet a lot of Jewish people. You're friends with a lot of them. and that goes away. So you never think about it. And the reason why this is important is because for a long time, way before it got trendy right here in the mainstream to blame the Jews, we already had done that before. And the media had always denounced everything, had always be against it. They would refuse to talk about it. They were like, you're a piece of shit for daring to say it. But now today, it's kind of like what everyone knows, right? Everybody's like, Israel. How many of you guys think Israel controls the United States, right? Because, oh, dude, we have AIPAC, the politicians come in, and that guy that does this conspiracy theory videos on Wikipedia facts, he found out that, okay, they are doing this on purpose. They want you all to think that that's the case. Just think about how obvious it is. Once again, let me put this as an example. In Gaza, all of my guys in Gaza that have been absolutely destroyed, demolished, flattened out there, all of those people could have easily been poisoned, vaccinated, could have cut out their food, could have killed them with gas, could have killed them in so many different ways other than bombing the living fuck out of them and making it an obvious genocide, right? They could have done that. Or if you don't believe in that, don't believe in that. I don't care. I don't care. So they could have done it really quietly, but they didn't. Do you know why? Do you know why? They wanted you all to see that. All right? Whenever something happens publicly, they want you to see it. When they killed Charlie Kirk, they did it in public because they want you to see it. And I'm not saying Israel. That's all of you guys are going to start fucking jumping on this shit. I'm not saying that. But they killed them in public because they want you all to see it. They could have easily poisoned them. Like the people that invent new technologies that are putting in jeopardy the existence of our reality, like the car that was powered by water, or free energy, or anything like that, right? Whenever we have anything like that, those people get dealt with in a really nice way, where it sounds like they died of a heart attack or a brain aneurysm at the perfect time, and they were never able to continue their journey towards getting that made or getting that completely out there to the masses. They kill them in a nice fashion, right? They can also give you cancer. They can give you a heart attack. They have the technology to do all this shit. So whenever they're publicly executing someone, it's on purpose. They want you to know. Whenever Netanyahu, Bibi, comes out and tells everyone, Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. When he comes out to tell you, he has no need to tell you that. He wants you to feel that. He wants you to think there's no way he's denying it for nothing. He wants you to know he did it. All right? Why would you wonder? Why? And this is what's going to come in a very big shock to everyone. And it's rather simple. Number one, the bad guy won World War II. The bad guy is the United States. The worst evil in the world, if you believe any of the shit that I talk about, the worst evil in the world comes from the United States. The entire world, the entire simulation is controlled by people within the United States, from the United States at a really high level. Obviously, there's people from other countries, but mostly comes from the United States. This is where they all gather power, and they all hide behind the most powerful military in the world in projects that you have no idea exist and sound absolutely insane to the regular person. Okay? That's where they are. The United States is the most powerful nation indeed. They want you all to hate the Jews because the United States and the people in the government of Israel hate the Jews. They hate their people more than anyone else. And they're using them as bait for you to fucking do everything you can to attack them. If this is not obvious by now, and this is why I'm going to jump into to tell you, because what they're using right now is what works really well to know when the government and the news and everyone is trying to trick you. This, I'll get to it in a second. They want everyone to fucking hate like the Jews. Not the state of Israel, the government. They want people hating on the Jews. Why? I have no idea. But here's the thing. There are big end of the world predictions that are connected to this. Now, do I believe them? I don't know. I don't care. The plan is perfect. If that's the end of the world, it's the end of the world, and I don't give a fuck. I'd rather die in the end of the world, because that's badass as fuck, than dying in my little bed at 80 years old shitting my pants. So I'd rather go with that. But in this case, it's irrelevant. I don't know why I told you that with so much passion. Oh my God. Either way, these people absolutely hate the actual Jews. They hate them. And the way that their religion and everything works in Israel, it's insane how they can spread that propaganda that it's being served to them by the people that hate them, that put them in these situations, right? So they can follow this along. And these people, and by the way, the Jews have nothing to do with this. These people have been brainwashed, heart-washed, everything through time. Okay? And they're made into victims. The first trick in reality to make a person weak is to make them feel like they're a victim. If you have a victim mentality, you're a pussy ass motherfucker. And I know that because I've been a victim mentality person. And I was a fucking pussy ass motherfucker. Okay? So I have the right to tell you that. It's like when people use the N-word because they're black and they can do it. As a pussy ass motherfucker, I can tell you that you are a pussy ass motherfucker, because that's what we are. So all these people have been victimized. I have friends that have $40 million houses that are Jewish, that are like, people hate us so much. I'm like, oh, I wish people hated me so much for everything I have. And I had $40 million fucking dollars in this one house alone. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Now, a lot of people, you're going to say you're crazy. No. Shut the fuck up. I think I've completely lost my mind now. Absolutely. Okay. So the way that they're infecting everyone so that they can become more victims is they get together on Saturdays or Fridays. I can't remember what day is the Jewish day that God came to earth and told them, hey, you know these cell phone things? No, they're not good for you. I don't know what day that is. That's the Shabbat, which should be Saturday, maybe. Whatever it is. And whenever there's like a bar mitzvah, which you all should know what it is, right? When a boy becomes a man or some shit like that. And then when they have like the bris, which is when you chop off you circumcise a kid in front of everyone. When they get together, there's a rabbi normally there. Or they all do prayers. And they all do prayers. Like, for example, the last thing that I attended that was Jewish, they were like, the guy was like, and please bring back the kidnapped people, the hostages. We need the hostages. So they're being injected by this shit all the time. The victim shit, this is our problem, like we're fucked up. They are. So none of the stuff that's happening is their fault. For all of us to turn around and say, you all Jews are pieces of shit, it's so fucking wrong. The pieces of shit is the people in charge in the Israeli government and the people in charge of the US government. Those are the pieces of shit that you're looking for. I hate this thing because it's becoming bigger and bigger. And the reason why it's bad, if you guys don't know this, there's been a prediction in the Bible, and Jesus talked about this shit forever. And they said that the end of days are going to be the end of days will start with the entire world attacking Israel, the promised land, or whatever the fuck it is, and basically eliminating the Jews. That this is in a lot of prophecies in the Bible, guys. Like in a lot of places, it starts like that. And now we can understand that this is actually very doable, and we're kind of close to it. because they keep poking and poking and poking and poking. Now, at first, I thought this was because the United States wanted to just have a base around the Arabs so they can fucking bomb them to death. But ideally, what these people are looking for is two things. One, the Arabs and the Jews kill each other completely fucking nuke the living fuck out of yourselves and you're gone, right? And that hurts me too, because I love a lot of people in those areas in the world. And the other one is the entire world just goes against Israel, and this releases the end of the world prophecy. People that are in Israel are going to have to run to the fields and whatever. Whoever stays there and tries to keep any of their belongings will be absolutely destroyed. And then this will expand into Babylon, which is now every single modern city, and modern cities will completely collapse. And they're talking about a collapse that happens within hours, which it sounds illogical, but if you read that stuff, it's pretty crazy. So I don't want to get into that. I don't want to give you guys fear, and you shouldn't look into it. Whatever. You're all going to die one day anyways, right? So who gives a shit? The reason why I'm telling you this is because there's a big lesson here. The government has the power to make us do whatever they want and to make us think whatever they want. And there are ways of spotting that it's not the government, it's the bad people, like the people in charge of the simulation of the game. And there are ways to spot what they're doing and actually make it work for yourself in many different ways. So number one, I just want to make it clear that if you're in any place whatsoever, mentally, spiritually, or in your heart, hating on the Jews for all the stuff that's happening, it's absolutely not their fault. And they're going to defend this. Maybe not most, but a lot of them will defend all the crazy shit that's going on and will want more and will never. Yes, but it's not their fault that they've been brainwashed. We all have been brainwashed. All. And I know it's hard to admit, and especially it's hard to admit for a lot of people, come out with the truth and say, you know what? Yes, I was brainwashed and I didn't see it coming and it was terrible. But we have all been brainwashed. All of our realities programming with information that they're giving us, forming our reality through our minds. Okay? And it's very important that we know that these people are looking at winning the game versus us, which is turn everyone into in a negative person. If you can turn everyone into a negative person, we all lose the game and they win and it's over and awesome. I'm not talking about the end of the world or anything like that. I'm just saying that's it. That's the end of the game. They win. The bad people, because evil and good don't really exist. It's just like whatever. It's irrelevant if you're not going to listen to the whole thing. So they want us to be negative. But now they do this all the time. They like to play with us. And it's the smartest and the funnest fucking thing to do. Now, did I say Chuck Schumer? Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. I'm sure you've all seen the video where he goes, we can make people behave in certain ways and make them do certain things. Ask yourself, can the government do that or not? It's not even the government. Larry Fink said that, the CEO of BlackRock. Can BlackRock do that to you? Can they make you think in a certain way? Can they change your mind or not? What do you think? Now, let me show you real quick a recent example of this. Very recent example of this. When Trump became president, the stock market fucking went nuts when he got elected. And once he got elected and it was going nuts and whatnot, it was very obvious that you're top. Like the stock market functions in a way that it's very easy to understand. For all of you that don't understand the stock market, it's really simple. They make everyone believe this right here that I'm pumping, could be Bitcoin, could be gold, could be stocks, whatever it is. This is so bullish. It's going to continue to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And it's going to make you so fucking rich. You don't understand. So price goes up, goes up, goes up. And once they convince everyone to be here, they dump it to this side. That means everyone leaves here and everyone goes on this side. What do I mean by that? For example, so they tell you, All right, the stock market, getting the stock market. Trump comes out and tells everybody the stock market's going to be great. We're going to do phenomenal. People know that the stock market under me just works really well, right? And everybody thought that. And then what happened? To the people that don't understand how this works, they ate a massive dick when the tariffs. It's the stupidest fucking excuse ever. This is a narrative that they're selling you. They told everyone at the beginning of the year, guys, tariffs are coming. And that's going to create monster inflation. Monster inflation. You, as a business owner, better go out there and get a lot of inventory. And you, as a business owner, you're sitting there, your stupid ass. Sorry. Alejandro's still not under control fully by me. Okay? So he's got to be a little fucking dickwad. I'm sorry. Apologize, Alejandro. I'm sorry. So you're there as a little business owner and you think, this is going to be a great year for me. No one's buying any of my shit and I've inventory up the asshole. But I better go buy more inventory because daddy government told me that inflation's coming. When you're hearing about a problem that they're repeating again, that they were hiding in the first place, whether it's the Jews are bad, for example, right? Which again, I'm not saying that that's the case. I hope you watch the rest of the video, not just this part. But for example, in 2020, none of you guys, most of you didn't know who Jerome Powell was or what the Fed was. None. None of you understand what interest rates were and how the Fed worked with it. None of you understood how bonds worked and still don't understand. This is one of the things that most people think they understand, but they don't understand bonds. And if you can learn the bond market, dude, you're going to fucking do great. Except don't follow narratives. Just, it's obvious. So in 2020, we had the pandemic. And then we printed 40% of the money that existed out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. If there was $100 in the world, now there's $140. Boom, just like that, right? And when we did that, so let me just be clear. That caused inflation. What really caused inflation is not that they lower interest rates. It's not that. It's that they literally printed trillions of dollars, an insane amount of money. Any idiot back then, except me, Kevin. Oh man, Alejandro, stop it. Stop it. Any retard out there could have understood that inflation was going to come and destroy us. But yet none of y'all motherfuckers that are crying about inflation today, 5 years later, were there crying about inflation. And instead, most of y'all looked at someone like me saying, dude, inflation's going to fucking come in and take us by the balls, and said, you're a moron. You don't understand how this works. Right? So 99% of people were told by the government, by Jerome Powell and by everyone, inflation's not going to come. A whole year went by with prices continue to go up. A whole year, all the way to 2021. And in 2021, as prices were going up and a G-Wagon was $400,000 and whatnot, they changed their outlook. After a year of seeing prices go up and a G-Wagon go from $180,000 to $400,000, they changed their outlook. Well, now inflation is going to be transitory. Don't worry about it. It's going to go away. And every moron, God bless you all, and every moron still was like, yeah, inflation's transitory. It's normal. It's because of the supply chain. It's the supply chain. Is the supply chain is fucking hilarious. So everyone still, after they saw they were living in inflation, they were like, you know what? The government, daddy government, is telling me that this is transitory. So this is going to be transitory. At that point, more people started to realize this is not going to be transitory, but a lot of people still did. So then we got 2023. In 2023, after the 2022 bear market that we had, in 2023, what we did was, and this was genius, Peter Thiel is one of the, Peter Thiel is not the devil. Peter Thiel serves whatever you would call the devil. And the devil is not who you think it is. Peter Thiel is one of the masters of the darkness, if you will. Peter Thiel came out and convinced everyone that banks were going to collapse, that you had to go into bigger banks. And in order for you not to collapse the banks, you needed to buy bonds, yields. You needed to put your money and get paid back. You'll remember that in 2023? The big exit, the banks are going to crash and all this shit. Why did he do this? He convinced everyone to loan their money to the US government. That's when you buy bonds, when you buy treasuries, when you buy any sort of debt instrument from the US government, you're loaning money to the government. And then the government went and spent more money, creating even more inflation in 2023. None of y'all motherfuckers realize that. None. Until today, I have no one yet to understand that that's what happened, right? So that continued. And then in 2024, towards the end of 2024, when Trump is like, I'm going to be president and whatever, and even the beginning of 2025, people came out and started saying, now pay attention to this. The Federal Reserve for 2 years, while inflation was going from a G-Wagon at 180 grand to $400,000, guys, no inflation. Don't worry about this. It's not going to happen. You're good. Oh, well, it's transitory. It's a little bit of inflation, but it's going to be transitory. Don't worry about it. To, all right, this is inflation and we got to fight it. Okay? We're there. And by the way, if you think the Federal Reserve is just making accidents for 100 years straight and every single decision that they make creates a chaos and it's a disaster and they don't know what they're doing, you need... See, I can stop the little monkey from saying bad things to you. You need to understand that didn't happen for nothing. Okay? That you need to understand that these people are playing the game. And the game is to make it look that money is very scarce. They can print as much of it as they want. And they could finish poverty and everything you want around the world. But if they did that, they couldn't have you in a negative state of mind, in a negative state of heart, in a negative state of spirit. Right? So you best believe the illusion that you need to work for money. It's absolutely fucking retarded. But let's go with that. So now you're here. It's 2025, beginning of 2025. And Jerome Powell, after cutting interest rates 3 times, September, October, November, or whatever, December, right? 3 times under Biden for a whole 1%. After he does that, by the way, the interest rates go up. No one talks about it. Hang on, they're talking about it now, but no one talked about it then. This is why it's important for you to understand this. Jerome Powell comes out and tells everyone in 2025, guys, we're going to stop the rate drop, which never happened, by the way. We're going to stop the rate drop because we're worried about inflation. But inflation already happened. People are already broke as fuck. Businesses are down 20, 30, 40%. But now you're worried about inflation. And they convinced everyone, and I mean everyone, that there was going to be new inflation coming. Okay? And now you're going to say, why are they doing that, Alejandro? Why would the good government and good old Jerome Powell try to convince us, along with Larry Fink, trying to convince us that inflation is coming? Well, when you're getting 20 to 40% less sales on anything, if they tell you, hey, dude, inflation's coming, go buy everything you can right now before it starts, all broke idiots and every person that was waiting on the sidelines for things to get cheaper went out there and bought them. So if you went and bought a car because they told you that inflation was coming, Ford, inflation's coming, guys. Yeah, we're giving family discounts and employee discounts to everyone, plus the 000, 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 90 days. Yes, but we're later going to increase our prices. And people fell for it. The same thing happened with watches, the same with everything. Everything. It's a master play. And people now, after everything has already gone up like in price like crazy, and now that you can find discounts on things, are saying that inflation is coming. And again, now they're retarded. Absolutely. There's no other way of putting it. If you think this way, you're absolutely mentally retarded. Completely. And don't understand dynamics of the economy at all. Because it's simple. No matter how much inflation can come, according to anyone, and price increases, if people are broke, people are broke. You can, like, I know in 2020, they told everyone, well, this corporate greed is what caused inflation, because corporations never, not once in their life, not once, thought about, hey, maybe we should hike our prices up. People will pay for it. No. In 2020, that's when they thought about it. That's what they told you. And that's what most people that don't have people that have an education on this are that stupid that also fell for it. People that don't look at reality fell for it. You cannot, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine that has a big business, and he goes, he was telling me in December, my business dropped 25% in December. In January, his business dropped 35% altogether. 35%. And then he's telling me at a lunch, hey, dude, I think the prices of everything's going to go up and whatnot. What's your view on that? Should I buy more inventory? Should I do this? And I go, are you selling everything the way that you were selling it last year or not? And he goes, no. I'm like, do you have more inventory? He goes, yes. I'm like, why don't you just raise prices right now to the people with the inventory that you have? And he goes, because no one's buying it already. I have to give discounts and incentives. Why would, and I saw his face understand it. He's like, oh, yeah. Why am I going to buy more stuff? How our price is going to go up? That means that the companies are going to eat the tariffs. And when I was telling this to people, they told me I was crazy. And listen, I like to have fun. I like to be the crazy one until I'm not. And then by then you'll forget. But you know what? My wallet won't. My bank account won't. And that's why it's so good to know these things. So the first time they tell you something, like right now, everyone is expecting, and even the government is telling you, Trump and everyone, in 2021, we had like NFTs and Web3 and altcoin season and all this shit going on, right? And all of that came from inflation because there was such an excess of money, such an excess that people, after buying a car, after buying a house, after investing in the stock market, after investing in crypto, decided, you know what? That's not enough. I'm going to buy pictures of monkeys that are $500,000. That's called excess of money, excess of capital flowing through the system. Right now, what exists? Everyone's broke. You talk to your friends, you talk to people, and everyone complains about how expensive everything is. How are you going to raise prices when there's no money? You can't. You can't. So it's amazing how they use this against us. Right now, they're using it against people again. They're telling people, well, now, how many people have you heard from that said the money printer is about to go crazy? The Fed's going to do QE again. They're going to expand monetary policy. They're going to lower interest rates. The big print is coming, guys. The big print is coming. Why? The only time there was a big print was 2020. In 2008, Obama bailed the banks. That's it. That's it. And yeah, you might have gotten like a $700 check, whatever. Doesn't matter. If y'all think that your checks that you got, like $1,200 that you got from Trump, like during the pandemic, is what caused inflation, you're retarded. What caused it was PPP loans, along with zero interest for corporations. Why? Because companies were able to get $10 million out of nowhere. And guess who kept it? The CEOs. And do you understand how many people got millions of dollars? Millions. Millions. That's what caused inflation. Okay? So right now, and we did that because, remember, we had to be locked down. There was a very dangerous thing around the world called the virus that was going to get us all. And I'm a fucking moron and fell for it. And Google used me, for example. Google used me to expand their misinformation and their bullshit to all of you. And I don't mean like Google sent me an email. Like I had phone calls and shit with, like they went all out on this. It's not an accident. It's not a fucking accident. So now let me ask you again. Can the government make you, along with Larry Fink and whoever, the CEO of BlackRock and whoever, do something? Yes. They made everyone right now spend money thinking that there's going to be price increases when everyone's broke. Yes, they can. Now they're making everyone invest. And they're telling everyone, dude, keep investing. The stock market will continue. The melt up is happening. It's going to continue. Now you're going to get QE. You're going to get the big print. You're going to get the lower interest rates. Housing prices are going to go up again. Car prices are going to go up again. Isn't this what everyone is expecting? And again, let me tell you, if you weren't a genius in 2020, if you weren't a genius in 2023, if you weren't a genius at the beginning of 2025, why are you a genius right now? It's not going to happen. What are we dealing with? Deflation. Deflation. But this is just, and we can get into the deflation video and all that. That should be a separate video because now this is 40 minutes of me just yapping for some reason. Well, for the reason that I always yap, because this is what I love doing. I want you to know everything will be great. Just got to be patient. Don't spend money. Don't listen to these people. Just wait. Don't act out of fear of missing out or any sort of fear. Acting on fear will make you lose. I want you to win. I want you to know everything is going to be fucking awesome. I need you to not listen to all these people. No, their houses aren't going to go up in price like crazy. Cars are not going to go up in price like crazy unless we give out $8 trillion. And when I say $8 trillion, I'm not like figuratively speaking. I'm like talking reality. Unless the government has an excuse to give all of y'all, because they've confused all of you on how this works. If they send you checks, or maybe not you, but your boss, for $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, which sounds ridiculous, but that's what happened in 2020, then yes, prices are going to go up. But if they don't do that, we are going to spiral into a deflation. We are spiraling into a deflationary event. And deflation is when prices come down hard. And a lot of you are going to say, that's great. I'll finally be able to buy a house. House prices are going to come down 100. Yes, they are. But you won't. Because normally in these cases, what happens is, and this is on purpose, because remember, they want you to lose. What they did is they forced all of y'all to spend right now because the interest rates are high. So you're getting a high mortgage, you're getting a high rate on the loan to buy a car, to buy a house, or anything. High rate. And then when prices start coming down, you can refinance because you're in negative equity. You're going to continue to pay that loan until you declare bankruptcy if you have to. And you're going to be upside down and won't be able to get rid of anything. That means your credit's going to be fucked. Whenever there's these events, like in 2008, what they do is they cut credit. And by that, I mean, they won't give just anyone a loan like they did in the past few years, that they've gotten everyone used to that. Do you think they gave you all that money because you're great, because you're awesome, because the US government is really working for you all? Is that what you really think? Because right now, everyone's fucked, right? No one has money. Why isn't the government being awesome and giving you all that money again? What's the problem? Inflation is going to come anyways. I already bought Bitcoin. I'm one of the geniuses that owns Bitcoin and gold and all these things, right? And by the way, I'm not the only genius. Everyone that's bought it is in profits. Everyone, along with the gold people, along with the silver people, along with the stock market. We're all in profits. This is great. And on top of being in profits, the government's going to print more money and give it to us. That's great. Absolutely. Now that everyone's on the stock market, everyone's in gold, everyone's on that, you see the picture, right? Everyone's on one side while you're getting deflation. Do you understand what's coming next? And the thing is, they will never admit what's going on right now. They'll talk about bullshit. They'll bullshit you to the end of the world. They're creating a reality that doesn't exist. But in everyone's mind, you're seeing more inflation. When houses are not moving at all, no matter what the price is, when cars are being discounted, when CarMax is 70% down, 70% down. When you go to a Ford dealership, when you go to, I just went to a Porsche dealership to look at the take on the crossover, the cross Gran Turismo, whatever the fuck it's called. I went to look at it. They had discounts on all their cars. MSRP plus incentives. Ford, their fucking dealerships are packed, dude. Packed. Same with GM and all of those guys. Packed. And all of them have MSRP cuts. All of them. They're new cars are cheaper than used cars. That's the beginning of deflation. New houses, by the way, too, are cheaper than used houses. That's the beginning of deflation. The next one, right now, I'm seeing it already. Furniture would be next, and then would be retailers. So furniture next. I'm looking at I want to have a little sofa, like a lazy boy, where I can like just chill in here and meditate by myself and whatnot. And I want it in this room because they're ugly and, you know, whatever. So you guys are going to see that ugly couch in here soon. They're all discounted, 50%. 50% off. This inflation is killing me. 50% off. And then the next one's going to be Target fighting with Walmart because they're overstocking inventory, along with all the retailers, major retailers. They're all going to drop their prices like crazy to fight with each other. But mostly that will put a lot of you guys that are business owners out of business. But that's deflation. And when that starts to happen already, that means results for earnings are going to be terrible for all of them. And that means they're going to have to fire a lot of people. And bad results equals bad stock market. These guys are geniuses. They can sell you on anything they want, but always know when the narrative is popular, it's because it's wrong. That's the game, the name of the game right here, right? They did it with the Jews, with Israel. They're doing it. They did it with inflation. Hang on. And you got to look at it like this. They use it against you. After the pandemic, how many pieces of news came out that monkeypox was going to be another pandemic and that there were going to be other pandemics? How many times? And did it happen? No. They told you that inflation was coming right now. Did it happen? No. When they tell you, it's the opposite. I want you to know this because this will make you so much fucking money. You can play life in easy mode, or you can go ahead and just get thrown into the waves, dude, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then hopefully you'll come out. When narratives become popular, It's because they're wrong. It's because they're outdated. It's because that already passed. It's really weird, but it's like no one lives in the present. It's fucking magic what these motherfuckers can do. Magic.